Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Through the Fire. All right, y'all. So it is currently like 7:28 in the morning on November 28th. Today's November 28th, 2023. And I am coming to y'all irritated as hell, okay? I have to go to court at 9 o'clock this morning, which is why I'm on here so early. I have to go to court at 9 o'clock this morning because of this bullshit. What is this? You see how they tape that shit though? This was taped to my door, okay? This was taped to my door November 14th, okay? November 14th, this was taped to my door. This is a court notice for an eviction hearing. So I have to go to court today to handle this. Which is so frustrating. I think the last video that I recorded with grievances, I stated that I was tired of getting notices from the leasing office talking about my rent wasn't paid and this, that, and the third, and having to go to the insurance company and figure out what the hell is going on, get all of that rectified. And this is for October's rent, okay, y'all? Now, October's rent was paid on October 23rd, but it's a whole story behind that. But I am so irritated, okay? And I'll go into the story after I come home from court. But y'all, I had to take off work for this shit. Like, you would think that there would be some level of stability, or feeling like there was some level of stability in the insurance company paying my rent for me and me being completely hands off, but it does not have the security that one thinks and hopes for. Okay. And I'm finding that out now, figuring that out now. And I'm just over it. I'm so completely over it. So, I'm gonna head to court, and then I'll come back and I'll do another video, and I'll inform y'all about what happened in court, and we'll get into what happened here, because it's a lot. And then I'm gonna go into some things in regards to the community that I'm in, because by the time this airs, I will not be in the townhouse. I will have been moved out. And so I feel that I can be open, honest, and raw without any fears of retributions, retaliations, any of that. You know what I'm saying? Discrimination, any of that. So I'm certainly going to come back after court and speak my mind, because your girl is tired. And these videos don't even be this long anymore, like for Through the Fire, but you can tell I'm seriously irritated. So this is going to be a little lengthy video. It's not going to be too long, but it's going to be a little lengthy video because I need to get this shit out. So I will see y'all when I come back here from court. So stay tuned. All right, y'all, I'm back. And as you can see, I am not evicted, because that trial should not have happened at all in the beginning, okay? I got there, and mind you, court started at 9, right? So I got there around 8:40, went inside the courtroom, sat there, and the guy who was representing the townhomes, the management company, called out and said, hey, is there anyone here from Brookstone Townhomes? da 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 da. And I said, yes, I am. And he said, okay, what's your name? Gave him my name and everything. And then he said, oh, you caught everything up. It's, the case is dismissed. So you can go home. You don't have to stay here. So you mean to tell me I done wasted time out of my day to come to court when y'all already knew, when y'all filed for eviction for the hearing, y'all knew when y'all filed for the hearing that my rent was paid. So I don't understand why this was even a thing to begin with. So I'm really irritated. Like, that's why I was irritated as hell this morning, because it shouldn't have been a thing to begin with. Now, my insurance company, as everyone knows, has been paying my rent, right? And like I said, this is for October's rent. My insurance company sends the rent the month ahead, right? So basically they send the check 2 weeks prior to when the rent is due. So for October, my insurance company sent out the check on September 19th. I have all of my dates and everything because I make sure, I'm somebody who always stays on top of my bills, okay? So there's not something that doesn't go on that I don't know. You know what I mean? So the insurance company paid the rent for October, or sent the check for the rent for October, September 19th. Okay? Which means they received it, because they always overnight it. So they received the check September 20th. Okay? Now, sometimes when my stuff be out, and I'm not even cutting it out. So they received the check September 20th. For some reason, they don't cash the checks or put the checks towards your rent payment immediately. They hold on to the checks until they're ready to process the remainder of the rent payment for that month with everybody else's stuff. Whoever sends in checks, they send it in as a bulk. Okay, now mind you, this is so I'm learning so much of this stuff. I'm learning as things are going. All right, so I get a notice on my door October 13th stating that my rent was not paid. I immediately got on the phone, like I always do quarterly, because remember I told y'all this stuff happens quarterly. It happened in March, it happened in June, and it happened again in September. So I get, October, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, they skipped a month. But I get the notice on my door. I call the insurance company and they say, okay, we're about to call the leasing office because your check was sent out on the 19th of September. They received it on the 20th of September. We have the tracking because they send it via FedEx overnight. So I said, okay. They said, don't worry about it. We're going to contact the leasing office. Everything will be straight. We'll figure out if they need us to issue another check. Don't worry about it. Da, 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 da. Okay, now mind you, the leasing or management company decided that they wanted to change how they were going to accept checks. So I did inform my insurance company of that. Now, there's a backstory on that I learned while going through all of the stuff that I'm currently going through today. So, I contact the insurance company. They contact the leasing office. The leasing office gives them the new address to send the check to, and everything is squared away. I call on October 23rd and I say, hey, I wanted to make sure that we're all straight. What's the status on everything? Oh, Miss McNeil, we received your check. Your rent is paid. Everything is fine. Okay, wonderful. So I guess that was what was notated on the account, because apparently it was just a note on the account and they hadn't cashed the check, which means they didn't put the funds towards my account, my renter's account, which means they filed for this because it says, or it stated that my rent wasn't paid. They filed for this on November 9th. They received the check when I called, they said they had received the check and already sent the check off to New York, because they send the checks to New York, y'all, to New York, to the big company who the management company is under. So there's a big company, and their management company is under this big company, right? So they send all of their tenant checks. They gather all of them up. They hold all of them, and then they send them all to New York in a batch, right? Then you have to wait until the checks get to New York, till the people in New York processes the checks and puts it towards your account, and the check cashes and clears for it to say credit your account for your rent being paid. So while all of that is happening, my account was already notated on October 23rd. So there was no reason to file this on November 9th. What did you file this for? There was no reason to file this. So imagine me when I get home on, it was either the 14th or the 15th, whatever is that Wednesday, because I had came home from work and this was taped on my door. Do you know how fucking embarrassing that shit is? For this to be taped on your fucking door, and you know your neighbors know what the fuck this is. This is the first time I've ever rented anything. And I haven't, and technically it's the insurance company renting it. It's just me on the lease. I still ain't technically rented shit in my fucking life. Well, never mind. Yes, I can say officially that I'm renting this, because for the month of November, the allotment that the insurance company had, that because you pay into certain things when you pay your insurance for your homeowner's insurance or your renter's insurance, right? And so there's an allotment that I paid into while paying for my insurance, where you get a set of money aside for when you're displaced, and they pay you for the rent. So my budget, or the pot ran out for the money, the funds ran out for the money November 19th. So the insurance company paid for my rent from January 6th or January 1st, because technically that's when the lease started, January 1st until November 19th. So the October, this shit, I wasn't even responsible for. So things are happening that are out of my control, and that shit sucks, because I have absolutely no control over any of this. The insurance company does not give you the money for you to pay the rent, because they do not want you touching the funds. They want it to be an exchange between them and your landlord, your leasing office, whatever. They do not want you having any involvement or touching any of the money. That's fine. I totally understand that, whatever. But for people to be going through situations like this when they're relying on the insurance company to be there to pay, and this, that, and the third, this stuff is absolutely bananas to me. But then I find out that the whole reason that the leasing office changed their policy on how they wanted to accept checks is because they started losing people's checks. They started losing people's rent money. They were not depositing, or they were losing. There was one tenant, they lost her check, and she ended up in this situation because they lost her check. She issued them another one, and this is the same situation that she found herself in, because they had to send the check off to the bigger company, and the bigger company had to do their own thing and wait for the check to clear before it hits your. It's madness. It's insane. So I have a blemish, or you can see that there's an eviction hearing under my name, under the judiciary system, which I kind of don't mind, because this video, number one, it clears it up, and number two, in the future, I already know, because Spirit already told me somebody is going to try to use that against me, and it's going to be so fucking comical. Because it's going to be something that I can be like, oh, you try to throw that in my face, but you didn't know the real situation. And this video has been out for years explaining everything that happened. That was nothing that I even had a hand in, let alone something that should have happened in the first place. But anyway, so my insurance company paid the rent from January up until November 19th. And I covered from November 19th to the end of my lease, which means in November, the month of November, my insurance company paid 2/3 of the rent and I paid 1/3, right? And so I'm fully responsible for the rent in December, which is already paid. Today is November 28th, y'all. December's rent has already been, I've already paid it. That's how on top of things I am. So I understand why I'm so frustrated, because I don't find myself in situations like this. I don't live a life where I put myself in circumstances like this, but yet here I am, an innocent person who has no control over any of this, and I find myself in this position. Like, it's so messed up. It's so messed up and it's so irritating. And I was going to leave a review for the townhome complex on this video, but I think I want to do another video because this video was already too long. But I think I'm going to do another video for that. And by the time this video airs, I'll be gone already from this community. So again, it doesn't matter if I do it this video or another video, but I'm gonna do it another video because, like I said, this video is too long in the first place. But y'all, this is so frustrating. Like, this is so beyond frustrating. And then not only that though, like, there are places in the hood, there are places in the ghettos where they don't even file for eviction hearings until like you're a month and a half to like 3 months late on your rent. They waste no time. They waste no time at all. They don't even let you be 15 days late past your rent before they're freaking filing for an eviction hearing. And mind you, you have to make at least $110,000, and it has to be you have to give them access. It's funny because you have to give them access to your bank account so that they can verify that you get direct deposit, so that they know that you're not fibbing when they look for salary requirements to even stay here. So for the townhome that I'm in, the 3-story townhome, you have to make at least $110,000 annually to even qualify to be here. You treat us worse than those who are on vouchers. And I'm not saying that I'm any better than somebody that's on vouchers, but what I'm saying is, it's ridiculous. The requirements that you require for somebody to stay here, for somebody to live here, and for you to treat us as if we are impoverished. I'm sorry. And I hate to say it like that, but it is what it is at this point. Like, call the thing a thing, right? And so this is gated community vibes and, you know, upper echelon vibes, upscale vibes around here. And when I tell you, this community is beautiful, but for us to be handled the way we are is like, dang, like, really? So we're gonna get into that on another video, but y'all, I just had to come here and give y'all the good, the bad, and the ugly on Through the Fire. And this is one of the bad and uglies. So pray for me, y'all. Pray for me, y'all. Pray for me. I just, like I said, December's rent is I've already paid December's rent. And so hopefully I don't have any more problems from here until I leave. So that is this episode of Through the Fire. I'm sorry that it is this long, but your girl is frustrated. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.